expensive belief that, okay, just a moment. Okay, I see a notification on my screen. Bear with me. All right, so the most expensive belief in the world is something is preventing you from making more money. I think a lot of entrepreneurs and founders struggle with this. They feel like, well, there's something particular that's stopping me from making more money. Maybe it's village people. Maybe I don't have the right skills. I don't have the right talents. But that is the most expensive belief that you can be dealing with. And today I want to help dispel that. Now, I tend to do this analogy just to describe how you need to switch your thinking. So if you have a phone, right, you can try this with me at the same time if you're not streaming from your phone. If you can turn on the calculator app on your phone. I don't know if this works for Android phones, so please forgive me. Full disclosure, I use an iPhone, so this is modeled on that. So I don't know if it works for an Android, but I will do the same as well. So what I want you to do is, I'm also going to do the same. I have my calculator here. I want you to type as many numbers from 1 to 9 as possible. So you're going to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. All right. Now that's quite interesting. Oh, so anyway, I'll explain. So normally with most iPhones, now I think there's a software updates that has been made. So you might realize that there may be a few tweaks, but now previously, all right, normally what you could do was you could only type 9 numbers. Now, maybe with the recent software updates, you might be able to type more. So this makes the metaphor a little bit changed. But ideally, you would type only about 9 numbers. And what that suggests is that there is a ceiling, because once you type 9 numbers, you usually previously, I don't know about now, you would not be able to go between beyond 9 physical numbers. But what happens is when you take your phone and you turn it on its side, you realize that normally you would be able to type way more numbers. So not just 9 numbers. Ideally, you'd be able to type about 16 numbers. So you might try it out. So once you get to 9, you continue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, the purpose of this metaphor, which might have changed now depending on the software updates, is you have the same skills, you have the same abilities, but if you reposition differently, you are able to, if you reposition differently, you are able to type more numbers. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Really simple. It means that to get the kind of results that you want in 2025, you need to reposition yourself. It's still the same calculator, it's still the same skill, it's still the same ability. But if you reposition yourself differently, you're going to get a lot more results. So what I'm going to show you is how to reposition yourself differently. So let's get into the conversation, right? My goal in this session is how to teach you how to get your money out of the pockets of your customers, right? You've got some clients that you want to be able to get money from. You want them to be able to do more business with you. How do you do it? How do you get more money from them? This is what I'm going to share. Now, in this kind of session, I tend to think of it from 3 perspectives. Number one, many entrepreneurs who are watching this session are living in just enough, right? Everybody wants to live in more than enough, but the distance between just enough and more than enough are your mindset and your skills. And those are the 2 things I'm going to drill down today. I'm going to share a bit of mindset, but I'm going to show you some of the skills that I use tactically to help my clients. And they've been also been able to use to go from just enough to more than enough. So let's get into this. Normally when I give this example, I talk about the road to $1 billion. Now that could be $1 million, £1 million, £1 million. Doesn't matter what the currency is. But here's my question. There are many roads to $1 million, as an example. There are many roads to your desired figure. There are many roads to your desired goal. But usually there is a road to your destination. So let's give an example, since I'm speaking primarily to Nigerians in Nigeria. To get ₦1 million, as an example, which now may not be a lot of money, there are many routes to market. So you ask the question, what can you sell for 5K that 200 people can buy? What can you sell for 10 that 100 people can buy? What can you send for 20 that others can buy? 50, 100, 200, 500, and so on and so forth. Now, here's my question for you, and I'd like you to please be very honest with me. Drop a comment, drop your answer. So think about it to say, when you look at this road to market, which one resonates with you normally to say that, well, this is what I think I would normally do to make $1 million? So, for example, are you the kind of person who thinks about it and says, well, if I that person's on it. That's so cool. Please, can we mute that? All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to you in the bus heading to Obalindi CMS or wherever you're going. So here's my question really. Look at the screen and ask yourself, what number is it that you are most likely to go through? What's the road you're likely to go through? Are you the kind of person who says, well, I think if I sell something that is 20K to 50 people, I'll make $1 million? Are you the kind of person who says, well, if I need to sell something that's 100K to 10 people, I'll make $1 million? Drop a comment. I'd like to know, what is your natural road? Please be honest, tell the truth, and don't let the devil be ashamed, as we say. What would you say your natural response is? Drop a comment. Anyone? I can't see. Sloth? No, that's not the question. My question is, how much would you be looking at selling? Would you be selling for 20K? Would you be selling for 50K? Thank you, Yemi. God bless you. 20K to 50 people. I appreciate it. Thank you. So that's Yemi's road to $1 million as an example. Anybody else, drop a comment. Aka Oduye says 20K. Thank you so much. Oma says 5K, 50K. Thank you so much. 5K to 200, 10 to 100. Fantastic. 100 to 10. Thank you. Fantastic. And love 20K to 50 people all the way. Thank you, Akianola. Funke says 50K to 2 people. Fantastic. And there's no wrong answer, okay? I'm just looking at your natural default mechanism. All right. So I can see a bunch of comments coming through. Now, here's the interesting thing about this particular thing that I asked you is whatever answer you picked is what we call your money ceiling, right? Whatever answer you pick is what we call your money ceiling. Now, what does that mean? Let me go backwards. It means, for example, no disrespect, if you choose to sell something at 5K to 20 to 200 people, it suggests that subconsciously you have equated financial security to selling to a lot of people, right? So you're taking the longer road because subconsciously it might be that you feel like you don't have the confidence to sell something of 1 million naira, as an example, to one person. So for you, if you need to make money by making a lot of efforts. That's what I'm saying. You have equated efforts with success. So you have to learn how not to hustle. No disrespect, that if you fall within that category, like you said, 5K, you are respectfully, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm here to provoke you. Remember, when Steve Harris says something that upsets you or offends you, you know he's doing his job because he's provoking you and he's offending you. So respectfully, you are acting like a trader. Respectfully, you are acting like a hustler, right? So if you're not in the perspective of selling something that is at least, I didn't say at most, at least 500K to 1 million, then respectfully, you are behaving like a trader and you are behaving like a hustler. Just a moment, I need to respond to a text. Just a moment, though. Yeah. All right. So respectfully, you are behaving like a trader. You're behaving like a hustler because for you to make $1 million, it involves a lot of struggle, right? 2025 is not the year for struggle. 2025 is the year to do things right. And one of the things that I've learned significantly in time, and it was one of the things that the Lord shared with me many years ago. He said to me, he said, to earn more, do less. Oh, you don't hear me what I'm saying. To earn more, you have to do less. And doing less doesn't mean that you are lazier. It means you require less effort. What can you create that you sell at a high price to fewer people? All right, let's continue. All right. So that's your money ceiling. And here's my thought to you guys. It is easier to sell one really expensive thing to one really rich person than to sell many cheap things to many poor people. Take a screenshot. You're going to remember this. You're going to need to remember this. It is easier. Hear me. I didn't even say it's better. I said it's easier to sell one really expensive thing to one really rich person than to sell many cheap things to many poor people. Am I offending you yet? I hope I am. Am I provoking you yet? Right? So let's continue. So remember, like I said, if you're not selling anything that is at least 500K, you should only be focused 500K, million and above. Every other thing is you're selling to broke people. Right? Let's go. So the first way I need you to reposition your thinking, guys, is you must learn how to start selling to shepherds and stop selling to sheep. Oh, you don't hear me what I'm saying? You got to start selling to shepherds and stop selling to sheep. If you had to gather, as an example, let's say you had 1 hour and you had 1,000 sheep, and they told you that if you gathered these 1,000 sheep and were able to put them in the pen, these 1,000 sheep are on the road, right? And you were supposed to put them on a farm, but you had only 1 hour. And if you did that, you would get ₦1,000,000, or you would get 10 million bucks, as an example. What would you do? Would you start chasing the sheep one? Hey, sheepy, 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 sheepy. You know that as you chase this one, that one starts running, right? How would you gather 1,000 sheep together in 1 hour to get 10 million naira? It wouldn't make sense to start selling to the sheep individually. What you should ideally do, as an example, is to hire a shepherd who has the experience of getting sheep. The Bible says, "My sheep hear my voice, and the voice of a stranger they will not obey." Right? So the problem is many of you as entrepreneurs are busy burning yourself out, sweating, stressing, hustling, trading, selling to sheep. You got to learn how to sell to shepherds. Moving on. This is something significantly that God told me a couple of years ago, and please forgive me. I tend to use God quite a bit because I kind of have a conversation with him from time to time. And one of the things that he was teaching me, which is what I'm teaching you now, is that your value must be sought after by the rich and scarce to the poor. Hear me, in 2025, write it down. My value must be sought after by the rich and scarce to the poor. I know many of you are watching, are living in Nigeria, and I know that things are pretty hard, pretty difficult, and my heart goes out to you. You can't afford to do business as usual. All those 5K selling, 10K selling, 20K selling, forget that. Your value must be sought after by the rich and scarce to the poor. Okay? This is the problem that many entrepreneurs have, and you may be experiencing this in your own business, is you've got it backwards. What you tend to do many times is you sell expensive stuff to poor people, and you end up selling cheap stuff to rich people. Hear me, this is a difficult one, and I hope you understand where I'm going with this. A lot of us are selling expensive stuff to poor people. Please drop in the comments, and I want to see this in the chat. No more broke people. Write it down. No more broke people. No more broke people. No more broke people. Lady Omfoy, you've not put profit margin in consideration, so not realistic. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I disagree. What's that got to do with anything? Profit margin's got to do with anything. Let me help you understand something. And this is the thing I need to teach you. I'm going to get a little riled up or a little bit animated. I need you to change your thinking, love. Recently, you're talking about profit margin. It depends on who you're selling to. You can buy something for, and that's why I said respectfully, lots of us are trading, and I'm not saying you are. You can buy something for this price and sell it at 10, 15, 20 times the price. Give an example. You're wearing a shirt. Let's say it's a Nike shirt, as an example, and you bought I don't know the currency exchange in Nigeria. Please forgive me. So let's just say you bought a Nike shirt, and if you sell it in Nigeria, I don't know, maybe it's like 100,000 naira, as an example, right? When they produce the shirt, does it cost 100,000 naira to make the Nike logo, that swoosh? Does it cost 100,000 naira? Absolutely not. What are you paying for? You are paying for the association with the brand. You are paying for the affiliation to be associated with the brand of status. Hear me, and I'm going to show you in a moment. right? The guys at the bottom of the food chain, those guys buy commodity. I'm not going to explain it until I get there. The guys at the bottom of the food chain, the broke people, no disrespect, those guys buy commodities. The guys at the middle of the food chain, where you're considering profit margin, those guys buy accessory, right? I'll explain. The guys at the top of the food chain, sweetheart, they're not thinking about that. Those guys buy scarcity, they buy exclusivity, they buy I am not your matey. Hear me what I'm saying. I'm going to say it again. The guys at the bottom of the food chain, they buy commodity. The guys at the middle of the food chain, they buy accessory. The guys at the top of the flipping food chain, those guys buy exclusivity, scarcity, and I am not your matey. So if you don't know how to sell to wealthy people, if you're not positioned differently, respectfully, you will be discussing profit margins. It's time to reposition. Remember that thing I told you on the calculator. It's time to reposition. I'm going on. Before you think this is what do you call it in Nigeria? Aspire to perspire. This ain't none of that. This is what I do on a daily, and I've had thousands of entrepreneurs who have been able to shift their thinking and their results. So please, respectfully, open your heart, drop what you know. Let's learn something new. All right. Now here's the problem. If you keep selling to middle class and low class clientele, you are creating the wrong perception of your brand. Hear me. Rich people don't want to be affiliated with people that sell to poor people. I need to say this again. Iles, please tell me to calm down. Tell me to calm. Just tell me to calm down. Just tell me, Harris, breathe, 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 breathe.
Calming down, calming down.
Be calming down, be calming down. All right. So rich people, your dream clients, remember that's what I'm here to teach you, how to get your dream clients. Your dream clients do not want to be affiliated with traders or hustlers that sell to the middle class or to the poor class. Why? Because if you do that, after a while, because you've been selling to the middle class, you've been selling to the poor class, you begin to have this, like you mentioned, the conversations of profit margin, and you begin to become too expensive to the poor. Now, because you become too expensive to the poor, you're importing stuff, you're doing all the things that you're doing, you're too expensive to the poor. They can't afford you, right? They no longer can afford you because now they're going to a place of survival. The people in the middle class are attaining success. The people in the 1%, those guys are dealing with significance. Let me say this again. The guys at the bottom of the food chain, the poor class, those guys are dealing with survival issues. The middle class, those guys are aspiring or reaching towards success. Your 1%, your dream clients are not dealing with success. They're not dealing with survival. They're dealing with issues of significance. They want to be perceived as significant. Now, if you're consistently messing up your brand from the perspective of just constantly selling to the poor or constantly selling to the middle, after a while, you will plateau. You become too expensive to the poor, and the rich don't want anything to do with you because you've been too cheap to the rich. Hear me. I'm talking to you about how to get your dream clients, not how to get. See, respectfully, shout out to everyone who dances on Instagram and TikTok and finds different ways to sell their businesses. But let me help you understand something. Your dream clients don't resonate at that level. They don't resonate at that level. At best, like I said, you would be trading and hustling. I'll explain. All right. So here are a few to-dos that I need you to start thinking about. For every module that I'm sharing with you, I give you a to-do. So in to-do, number one, I need you to start increasing your money ceiling. If you're selling on a 5K level, elevate. If you're selling on a 100K level, elevate. If you're selling on a 500K, elevate. If you're selling on a million, elevate. Right? Number two, it's time to increase your prices to attract high-paying clients. But I'm going to teach you something because it's not just about increasing your pricing. There's a 4-step framework before your clientele will accept your pricing. So raising your prices doesn't mean you're going to get high-paying customers. There is a 4-step process, but I don't want to jump ahead of myself. All right. So here's part of the challenge that many entrepreneurs have. Number one, you're attracting the wrong leads. You're attracting the wrong people. Your marketing at best is attracting broke people. At best, it's attracting people who are trying to attain some level of success. Remember, I said the guys at the bottom of the food chain, the 90%, what do they buy? They buy a commodity. The guys at the middle class, what do they buy? They buy an accessory. The guys at the top of the food chain, they buy exclusivity, scarcity, and I am not your matey. That's what they buy. All right, so let's explain. You're attracting the wrong leads. And I find out that many of us as entrepreneurs, we are passionately serving the wrong markets. Hear me. could it be possible that you are passionately serving the wrong markets? You want to transform their lives. You want to make a difference. You want to do all that stuff. And all that stuff is great, right? You want to be able to, sell to 200 people. All that stuff is great. But could it be possible that you are passionately serving the wrong market? What do I mean by that? If you want to attract your dream clients, guys, you have got to learn how to choose your clients. Your clients must never have the power to choose you. Remember, I told you with a calculator, we're turning this on its side. As long as your clients choose you, you're at a disadvantage. They have the buying power. You have got to reposition yourself to the place where you decide who you want to do business with. I'm going somewhere. I'm not reading the comments because I feel I'll be a little bit distracted, but I'm just focused on my message. Stay with me. All right. So you've got to learn how to choose your clients. All right. Understand this. Remember, I said we don't want to be hustlers. We don't want to be traders. Brands choose their clients. Traders get chosen by their customers. Hear me. Brands choose their clients. Traders get chosen by their clients. It's a positioning thing. I don't know if you heard about this. This happened recently. It's been all over social media, but it happened here in the US a lot. So Jaguar, the car company, Jaguar for the longest time has been associated with prestige, with luxury, with exclusivity, right? That has been their positioning for the longest time. Their perception has been, deliberately curated to be able to have that kind of thing where they say we are for a class of people. Now, here's the 4-step framework that I talked about where I said, listen, you've got to learn how to increasing your prices by itself doesn't mean you're going to attract high quality clients. Here's what you need to do. Number one, you need to understand your positioning. Number two, you need to curate perception. Number three, you need to be able to determine your pricing. So hear me, your positioning determines your perception, and your perception determines your pricing. I'm going somewhere. Your positioning determines your perception in the market, and your perception determines your pricing. Don't raise your pricing if you have not fixed your positioning. Don't go for positioning if you don't want to be perceived wrongly. I'll explain. Back to Jaguar. So recently, Jaguar decided to do like a totally different marketing campaign. And for whatever reason, now remember, Jaguar is positioned as one of the higher brands and higher vehicle brands in the world. Now, they got their perception wrong when with their new marketing campaign, all of a sudden they created some sort of, no disrespect to anyone who flies rainbow colors and things like that, who's part of the alphabet community, but they created a marketing campaign that was very, very heavy on the alphabet community, the rainbow community. And it was so shocking that even though Jaguar is positioned as a high luxury brand, because they didn't manage their perception management properly with that campaign, guess what happened to their pricing? It tanked. Their stocks fell. People said, I no longer want to be associated with a brand that caters so overtly to this community. So now guess what? Everyone who's driving the Jaguar now has the perception that, oh, I'm a rainbow guy, I'm an alphabet guy, I'm an LGBT type, yada, yada, ABC, 1, 2, 3 type thing. And they don't want to be associated with that. Now, guess what happened? All of a sudden, they're like, you know what? Jaguar is no longer for me. Why? Because they were positioned as luxury, are now being perceived wrongly. And guess what happens to their pricing? It begins to tank. Brands choose their customers. Traders get chosen by their customers. I know you're chosen. You want to choose. You don't want to be a chosen. Sure. I'm not messing with you. You want to choose. All right. So If you notice with many car companies and brands and stuff, they always have like a price tier as an example, such that it's like, if you can't afford it, you're not one of us. We're not here to cater or to apologize to how you feel. This particular brand is designed for this kind of client. If you're not this kind of client, we cannot serve you. I'll explain. Moving on. Number two, learn this. Your customers must audition for your attention with their time and with their wallets. Ihotu, could you help me with that? Your customers must audition for your attention with their time and with their wallets. Haven't you noticed that with many exclusive types of brands, they have waiting lists? It could be a product that they're selling, but they create an experience that causes people to have a waiting list. Do you have a waiting list? Moving on. When it comes to positioning, you've got to be the first. Hear me, this is positioning. You've got to be the first and only decision before your customers consider the cheaper and less quality option. I'll say this again, take a screenshot. You've got to be the first and only decision your customers make before they now start considering cheaper and less quality options. How are you positioning yourself? Are you available for every Tom, Dick, and you know what? Are you the top of mind in your industry, in your marketing, in your niche? Are you the first one they're thinking about? Are you trying to serve every Tom, Dick, and you know what? Because if you're not, I guarantee, my friends, you are naturally, immediately the cheaper and less quality option. Let me help you understand something. Being cheaper is not competitive advantage. You don't get any brownie points for being the cheaper option or the lesser alternative. You can't compete that way. Moving on. Here's a secret for learning how to affect your customers' emotions, how to reposition your brand, how to reposition your perception, and inevitably how to demand your pricing. You've got to learn, this is the secret, hear me. You've got to learn how to make customers feel bad for not being able to afford you. And at the same time, learn how to make those who can afford you feel so good. The problem with many of your marketing is they don't feel anything. No disrespect. I'm going to use this metaphor. This is how you know you're selling the commodity, right? When I was living in Nigeria, of course, I was dealing with a lot of traffic from time to time. I lived on the island. So when I'm going back home, maybe I'm driving or my driver is with me. My driver is driving and I'm thirsty. So we want to buy maybe I'm a sweet tooth. So maybe I want to drink Coke in traffic or something like that. And there's a lot of guys who are selling different drinks on the road, as you've experienced before. If I don't buy from this guy, I lose nothing, because I know that as long as I'm on this traffic, I'm still going to find another guy selling Coke in traffic. They're all the same. They're selling a commodity. I have no allegiance to the Coke seller. What I have allegiance to is what he's selling. And because if I don't buy from this guy, I don't buy from this guy, I don't lose anything. I'm selling up there. Why? Because they're selling a commodity. So you've got to learn to answer the question, what do I lose? What does my customer lose if they don't buy from me? What are they losing? Is it urgent and important to them? What do they lose? What do they lose? Right? Ihotu can tell you, and perhaps for those who have been very privileged to work with, I have the brand, the reputation for helping my clients who want to make 10x their revenue, whether they've made hundreds of thousands or millions. I've been very privileged to be able to help them make their revenue. And Ihotu will tell you, because we have all the statistics, right? I've had clients who, right, in cohorts of my coaching programs, they've made billions of naira, millions of dollars, as the case may be. Now, what does that do for me? It means that if you're not coached by Steve Harris, you lose the ability to 10x your revenue, preferably in the tens of millions or in the hundreds of millions, depending on the type of business you run. Here's my question. What do we lose if we don't do business with you? Or are you like the person in traffic, the Coke seller, where if I don't buy from you, I'm buying from somebody else? Remember this, right? The guys at the bottom of the food chain, what do they buy? Remember, I told you they buy a commodity. The guys in the middle of the food chain, what do they buy? They buy an accessory, right? All right. So you've got to learn how to make your customers feel bad for not being able to afford you while making those that get the opportunity to work with you, make them feel so good. So you have to create a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. If you don't have a fear of missing out, respectfully, you're selling to the poor. Respectfully, you're selling to the middle class, and you're not yet attracting your dream clients. I got to move on. I hope, please let me know how many minutes I have. I have a feeling like I'm likely not going to cover most of this, right? So now somebody will tell me in the comments, well, no, well, I feel like I'm a first class brand, I'm a 1% brand. Then here's the question. Why are you attracting and feeling bad for economy class customers? You say that you're a first class brand. You say that you're a first class service provider. Why are you attracting economy class passengers? Why are you feeling bad when they can't afford you? Oh, they said they can't afford you. Now you're feeling bad. Of course you can't afford me. You shouldn't be able to afford me because I'm not selling to you. You're not, once you're very crystal clear about the kind of demographic you want to serve, you don't get emotional about stuff. It's like, for example, exclusivity increases the perception of value. How exclusive are you? Now, unfortunately, for many entrepreneurs, what they want is that they want to serve many people. Let it not be that I'll give you a real example, Real example. I was coaching a particular individual. She's in the makeup industry. And she was saying to me, oh, she knows she can't compete, as an example, with the 1% brands in the industry. She can't compete with Tara. She can't compete with, BN Pro and some of the names. I don't remember all their names. And so she said to me, how do I position myself differently to become more exclusive? I said, okay, are you ready to do this? Because exclusivity means you are going to exclude people. Exclusivity says, I don't want to serve the 90%. Exclusivity says, I don't want to serve the 10%. Exclusivity says, out of 100 people, I want to serve one. Bobuero, no disrespect. Bobuero says, out of 100 people, I want to serve 90. Middle class marketing says, out of 100 people, I want to serve 10. Hear me. So exclusivity means you are turning away 90 people. Sorry, you're turning away 99 people because you want to serve that one. And that one will give you the money of 99 people. Are you hearing me? So we had a conversation and I said to her, okay, what kind of makeup do you do? She said, oh, she's into the regular, makeup, skincare, blah, blah, blah. So I said, do you cater to any of the particular demographics? Do you cater to anyone? She said, no. Anybody, as long as you have a face, I can serve you. I said, first off, that's the problem. We now need to be clear about the kind of face you need to serve. So I said to her, light-skinned girls or dark-skinned girls, which makeup do you prefer? She says, dark-skinned girls. I said, okay, interesting. That means if we choose to go down this path, you are no longer going to serve light-skinned girls. She was like, what do you mean? I said, hold on now. You want to develop a brand. You want to be exclusive. That means that when people call your store or they check you on Instagram or whatever, and they say, oh, hi, I'd like to book you for my makeup thingy. Your first question, which is predicated on the market you want to serve, is first off, what color are you? What color are you? And maybe you can have different degrees. You can say we're mocha, caramel, vanilla, whatever. But what color are you? The person says, oh, I'm light. You say, oh, I'm so sorry. However, we don't cater to light-skinned girls. Our demographic is hot cocoa, dark-skinned girls. Now, the moment you do that, the light-skinned girl is going to first of all feel offended because, what do you mean you can't cater to light-skinned girls? I said, no, we don't cater. We just focus on dark-skinned girls. What do you think she's going to do? She's going to tell her friend, can you imagine? I called this makeup artist and they had the gall, the effrontery to tell me that they don't do business with light-skinned girls. What's her friend going to do? Maybe her friend is a different persuasion. Picks up the phone, and your messaging is the same. Sorry, we do not do business with light-skinned girls. And then on your socials or in your marketing messaging, you are amplifying dark girls. So you're saying things like, light girls can't sit with us. This is like the dark girl squads, Dudu or show babes, black and beautiful. So you're making dark-skinned girls look so amazing, and light-skinned girls look so jealous. Now, what's going to happen? Three things are going to happen. Your marketing will act. Hear me. Your marketing will act. What does that mean? A stands, your marketing will attract attention. Your marketing will also create conversation and controversy. And T, if you do it well, your marketing will turn to transactions. So hear me. Is your marketing attracting attention? When you post something on Facebook, forget likes and comments, because people can buy likes, they can buy comments, they can buy followers. So we know that one is not a proof of anything. The real analytic you should look for when you post something on social media, particularly Instagram, forget likes, forget comments, look for saves. When last did they save your post? If people aren't saving it, your post did not attract attention. If people aren't sharing it, your post is not acting. Because you can buy likes, you can buy comments, you can buy followers, but you can't buy saves, you can't buy shares. Your marketing isn't attracting attention, it's not creating conversation. When last did your marketing create conversation? Not, drop a comment and tell me how you think. That's not conversation. That one you're looking for comments. When last did you post something that either created conversation or created controversy? If it's not doing that, your marketing is not acting. And T, it's not turning to transactions. Time does not permit. Please send me a message. Let me know if you haven't already. All right. Let me know if you've sent it. So just tell me, because I'm not looking at my phone. Right. So going back to what I said, right? Exclusivity increases the perception of value. Does the airline lower the prices of their first class cabin to cater for economy class clients? So because you're so afraid of losing the sale, you're like, okay, I'll give you a discount. No discounts in 2025. Give bonuses, not discounts. Well, you don't hear me what I'm saying. Can I say this again? Somebody needs to write that down. No more discounts, give bonuses. So don't tell people, oh, I'll give you a discount. No, the moment you offer them a discount, you have reduced your value. You have gone from going to the 1 and you're going to the 10 and then you're going to the 90. And those, I was going to say niggas can't afford you, but I've said it already. They can't afford you. Do you get what I'm saying? The airline does not apologize because you can't afford us. It's okay. It's okay. Because if you fly first class, you are not paying for transportation. You are paying for association. You're paying to be in an exclusive fraternity of high net worth individuals. The guys in economy, no disrespect to them, are paying for transportation. They're going to get to London or America at the cheapest price possible. That's what they're looking for. The guy in first class or in business class is paying to be associated with someone he can do a deal with, or associated to be seen by people in the economy that he has more money than them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you start apologizing and say, okay, don't worry, we'll give you a discount, you can pay, 2025, hear me, don't use these words. Pay small, small. Forget it. That word, forget it. Never. I hope you're laughing, right? No more pay small, small. No more installments. Hear me. Don't use these words. Pay small, small. Installments, discounts. Don't do them. Use words like bonuses. So when you sign up with it, this is our price. And this is one of the things I do. I'll give you an example. Steve, your coaching is expensive. Your coaching is expensive. Steve, I'm not looking for people to coach. I'm a very busy man, right? So when people get through our firewall, so to speak, and they get to the point where they want to do business with us, okay, no problem. This is how much it is. It's expensive. Yes, it is, because the value we deliver is important. This is what I tell you. However, if you want to sign up with us, I'm only giving you 24 hours. Now, you don't have to have all the money. You need to pay a deposit. So in 24 hours, hear me, this is how I do it. So Ihotu knows this is how I do it. So when people want to have sessions or whatever the case may be, and they're still negotiating, I don't chase people though. If you make the mistake to get in front of me or get in front of my team, then you now think that, okay, because you've had a conversation with me, I'll now start calling you to say, Alpha, are you ready to start? No. I tell you, remember I said to you, you must have the power to choose your clients. Your clients don't have the power to choose you. So when you get on the call with me, let's say Iho gets on the call with me, I'm like, okay, we've had a conversation. This is something that clearly is valuable to you. Here's what I'm going to do. You will pay a deposit. As an example, let's say my coaching is $5,000. You will pay a $500 deposit, but you only have 24 hours to pay it. If you don't pay it within 24 hours, right? The price of my coaching is going to go from 5,000 there, because whatever I'm offering you perhaps is discounted or is already repositioned at the price that, so to speak, is okay. We now begin to stack it. So we'll say to you, you'll pay a deposit of, let's say, $500. This is only valid for 24 hours. That means this coaching, you're only going to get it at $5,000 with paying a $500 deposit, and you only have 24 hours to pay that $500 deposit. If you don't pay that in 24 hours, what's going to happen is by tomorrow, 48 hours from now, that coaching is going back to the price of $7,500. And if you want to commit to it, you will pay $1,000 deposit, but you will pay $7,500 at the end of the day. And if you don't pay that money within 48 hours, because we only do 72 hours max, in 72 hours, you're going to lose all the deposits and the price goes back to where it was at $10,000. So you have the choice. Can I pay $500 as a deposit today, 24 hours? I'm not going to chase you. If you don't, you lose that bonus. So don't offer people discounts, offer people bonuses. And take the bonuses away as the days go by. So reducing your price is not going to work. Removing the value is what works. All right. I'm not almost done, but I'm done. Right. Next thing, rejection and scarcity makes you desire what is valuable. I'm going to say that again. Rejection and scarcity makes you desire what is valuable. I remember many years ago when I didn't used to fly first class or business class, my family and I would travel, for holidays. And, when you walk into Delta, you walk into British Airways, you walk into all those airlines, as you walk in to the plane, if you're in economy or you're not, let me put it like this, if you're not in first class or business class, you turn right. If you're in first class or business class, you turn left. So we had done all these trips and we were consistently turning right. And one day my daughter says to me, she says, Dad, why are we always going right? Why can't we go left? Oh, she disgraced me as we're boarding that plane. But it was a thought that stayed in my mind to say, you know what, that's true. Because I just take going right for granted. And I made up my mind to say, you know what, the fact that it seems like I am rejected from first class, I am rejected from business class by my pricing, and I'm sitting with people in economy, no disrespect to them, you know what, I need to change that. All of a sudden, the rejection from first class makes first class more valuable. And you know what happens when you fly first class? You usually never want to go back to economy. So do you have a first class experience of what you're selling? And I'm not talking about service. I'm talking about the exclusivity. I'm talking about the scarcity. Rather than sell 100 items, can you please just sell 10? Can you just sell 10 or just sell 2? I sell 2 at crazy prices. That's what the 1% are looking for. That's what your dream clients are looking for. They don't want to work with every Tom, Dick, and you know what. Let me say one more thing and I'll shut up. All right. I'm going to shut up after this slide. Mute me immediately after this. All right. I don't have time to go further, but this is what I will say to you. In getting your dream clients, guys, it's not about persuading people to buy what you sell. That's the mistake. Come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. No, it's not about what you want to buy. It's not about what you want to sell. It's about what do they want to buy, right? Okay. So I said here, it's not about persuading people to buy. Somebody's here. It's not about persuading people to buy what you sell. It's about persuading them to buy what they want that you happen to sell. I'm going to explain this and I'll shut up. What do people want? Excuse me. At that higher level, your dream clients, status, recognition, exclusivity, scarcity. Those are emotional triggers that are important to them. So rather than selling, come on, give an example. Do you think people that buy Rolexes buy it because they want to see what time it is? Do you think that Rolex sells time? They don't sell time. They don't sell a watch. They sell an heirloom. Oh, you don't hear me what I'm saying. They sell a transgenerational piece of real estate that appreciates in value. That's what they sell. They don't sell time. Nobody buys a Rolex to say, okay, let me see what time. They're selling an heirloom. No one buys a Patek Philippe watch because they want to know what time it is. No, 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 no. So what are you selling? It's not about what you're selling. It's what are they buying? What are they truly buying? The woman that buys a what's the shoe I got? Christian Louboutin as an example, red bottom soles as an example. Why were those shoes the rave as an example? Do you think it costs $10,000 or $5,000 that the shoe is? No. What the woman who's wearing Christian Louboutin shoes is, she's what see, or a Birkin bag. Let me use a Birkin bag. She's not buying the Birkin bag because she wants to put her load inside. She's buying a Birkin bag because she wants to show you that she and you are not on the same level. She won't put her Birkin bag on the floor. Like she won't. In fact, the women who even walk with Christian Louboutin shoes, when they sit down and they cross their leg, they put their leg up and they put the sole in your face because they are not your soulmates. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not everybody that wears shoes is your soulmate. So do you get what I'm saying? You guys will get it later, right? But that's my point. 2025 is not the year of discounts. 2025 is not the year of pay small small. 2025 is not the year of installment or all that crap. 2025 is the year of bonuses. 2025 is not the year to sell to broke people. 2025 is the year to attract your dream clients. 2025 is not the year to sell to 200 people. No, 2025 is to sell one big expensive thing to one big individual, and you can go and chill. To make more, you need to do less. With these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and all the stuff that the others say. I have much more slides, but I don't have the time. But thank you for having me. I on somebody.
Thank you so much, Harris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to have to keep the spotlight on you a little longer. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, please, because of the questions we have. So I've sent you 2 questions on WhatsApp already. If you have questions, it's the time to post it in the chat or send it to me on WhatsApp. I'm looking out for them. We have a few minutes to go. We actually have like maybe 10 minutes. So please send your questions. Thank you very much, Harris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I liked all the punchlines. I was writing them down here, right here. I'm going to use them. I love them.
Did I offend anyone? Did I offend or provoke?
I hope you did. I hope you did, because we need that offense right now. To get into 2025, I think we need to take offense. We need to get angry with where we are, so that we can move to where we should be. We need to get tired with the same thing over and over again. You know, funnily enough, some of the things you said, I and my friend who is here from Care, we had talked about it. You know, we had talked about doing more in 2025, but doing less. That means that we want to do less of the activities, but have more of the results, right? Have more bigger, better outcomes, service more people. And I remember the conversation we had, I think it was last week, when we talked about when we were saying the client and went with somebody else who was cheaper and all of that, so we shouldn't bother and all of that. And as you were speaking today, I realized that, you know what, that's it, right? When you do what they want, right? You pay what they want, then they treat you how they like. But when you are almost like, you know, it's a privilege to work with you, it's a privilege to have you, and you know the value you carry. Then imagine how great it would be. So I'll let you answer some questions now. So that we can let you go. So I'm going to get the questions out of the chat for you shortly.
All right. So the first question I see is, what do you do to get out of staying in the same circle? You pay for it. To get out of that circle, to get into that new circle, you need to pay for it. Now, what do I mean pay for it? You need to pay for memberships. There's certain places that your crowd hang out. Pay for them, right? You have to pay for the new level. Sacrifice is the cost of success, right? So for example, if normally, as an example, and I know most of you perhaps don't, let's say maybe after church, you normally go to TFC as an example. Can you please go to Eco Hotel? They have buffet. It's not for poor. Do you understand what I'm saying? Start becoming not uncomfortable is not the word, but you know that a season has ended, but you need to demand more from yourself. So start going into the places where your kind of people go, right? Go to a buffet, go to a, just pay for those sorts of things. Pay for a membership, right? Pay for, and I'm not saying necessarily like a gym membership, it might be like a club membership. Those are the sorts of things. And when you get into those places, come with value, right? So you need to pay to get out of some of those circles. Um, how does one start strong, especially when in a financial mess? Um, that's a great question. You need financial intelligence. A lot of people have money, they don't have financial intelligence. Invest in financial intelligence, right? You want to be wealthy, you want to be successful, you need to understand money. Money has a language, wealthy people speak it, right? But money is not, oh, I have 10 million there in my account and I'm good. No, that's not money. Do you have what it takes to manage, multiply, and master it? Most people have money, they don't know how to manage it. They don't know how to, or like most people have money, they know how to make it, they don't know how to manage it, and they sure as hell don't know how to multiply it. Money requires financial intelligence. So you want to start strong in 2025, get your money intelligence up. There are books you can read, right? Go and pay a tax consultant and say, I have 1 hour, right? I have 1 hour, or I have 50K. I need 1 hour of your time. Explain money to me. Get an accountant, explain money, go and pay for stuff like that. It doesn't mean something that's, it's not rocket science. Um, how can service providers add bonuses, e.g., a performer? How can service providers add bonuses, e.g., a performer? I wish I knew what kind of performance you do to be a lot more specific,
I
right?
think
Say
music,
that again.
music. She's an
Music. Oh, right. She's an
artist, music
Oh,
artist.
okay. She's an artist. Oh, okay. Interesting. Right. So, for example, it could be different things. It could be you investing in your social media to add extra value by promoting the event, as an example, right? So the fact that you're invited, the fact that you're performing means that, as an example, you go out of your way to, because of your personal brand, if you don't already have one, please try to invest in building a personal brand so that by promoting that event, that is extra value. So people know that just by having you, they bring more clientele, as an example, to whatever establishment they have, because people are looking forward to seeing you because you are the assets, right? The reason you have the short end of the stick and maybe your clients are doing you anyhow is because you are not perceived as the asset. They are the asset. They're doing you a favor. If you are the asset, you're doing them a favor. Invest in your personal brand. Um, how do we resist the urge not to crawl back to the middle class because of a low sale for a period? Um, again, like I said, it's the language that you speak, right? When you speak, so you have to learn how to say no, right? You need to learn how to say no. So I'll give you an example. One of the things that I started doing in my business many, many years ago was I started saying no to certain clients, right? Ihotu is a consultant. I'm a consultant as well. We both have consulting firms that are doing very well. But sometimes with consulting, as an example, your clients are not very value sensitive. They're always looking for who will do it cheaper. Do you get what I mean? So I started putting a premium on my appearance as a personal brand. So here's what I mean. So if a client says they want my company or they want me, they say, Steve, we want you to come and do it. So yeah, my team will come and do it. So I'll mention my team. They have their profiles, so my team will come and do it. Hey, but Steve, we want you to come. Oh, fantastic, no problem. Pay me this much to come. Pay me this much. So guess what started happening, right? Because I started positioning myself differently, my clients began to put more value on my time. I'll give you a real example. So when I was in Nigeria, I was doing very well, pretty successful. Then I moved to the US and I started very deliberately associating with, please forgive me, I know this may sound racist or whatever, with white people, with Igbo people. And because they saw me on platforms that certain white people were on and certain stages, what happened? My positioning changed, my perception went up. Because when I was with them in Nigeria, prophet is not respected in his own home metaphorically, but because they saw me positioned differently with the kinds of brands that even they admire, what happened? My pricing went up. I had two clients fly me in from Texas, well, from Dallas technically to Nigeria to do a 1 day retreat. 1 day, they flew me first class. They put me in a really nice hotel. They paid me 5 figures, right? It's not 6 figures. They paid me 5 figures in dollars to come for one day. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I came to Nigeria, another oil and gas firm heard I was there, and they also wanted me. They said, "Oh, we have a retreat. You know, Steve, we want, since you're here, can we do something quickly?" Those guys paid me double what the other guys paid me simply to be there. Why? Because I positioned myself differently. I started saying no. So I said, you know what? If if a consulting client wants Steve Harris, right, and the markets that they want me to speak to are entry level, I'm not going. Hear me, this is saying no. Entry level, I'm not going. Middle management, I'm not going. That one is my team that'll go. I'm only speaking to the senior management or executive team. I will not go for anything else. Anything lower, you have my squad. Me, I'm speaking to these guys. So I started saying, no, did I lose a lot of jobs? Absolutely. But did my position pay off? Absolutely. And you know me, I know how to brag and I know how to position. So because I know that many of my clients they have social media as well. So when I come into the country as an example and I can speak English, I'll put something. I said, honored and privileged to be facilitating a one-day retreat for a high-level multinational energy company dealing with strategic interventions or something. Meanwhile, the clients were, Steve, you're around. We didn't know you're around. So once they see me at that level, because every time I post something on social media, it is at the senior level, the executive level. I don't post entry-level stuff. Guess what happens? They elevate me to that level. They pay me more. All right. Let me rush through your questions. Please forgive me if I'm a little slower. I want to restart my clothing brand. I want to relaunch. How can I reposition? How can I serve exclusively? How can I choose my customers? Stop making, just look at what since you're in fashion, look at what people like Tiffany Amber do, right? Go and study Tiffany Amber. Go and study Maya Tafo. Shebi's suits that Maya Tafo is making. Shebi's wedding dress that Maya Tafo is making. How much is his wedding dress? Women are saving money to say, this wedding I'm going to do once in my life is this guy that's going to do it. Why? Because he has tailored to serve a particular clientele. Nobody wants to serve you if you're serving broke people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Success has many friends. Start reaching out to successful people and offer to make them stuff, and don't make them nonsense. I get designers every day not every day, every other day, who say, "Oh, Steve, can I make something for you?" But I look at their Instagram. I'm like, nigga, no. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna be caught dead wearing this. I'm sorry. I look like, who's wearing your clothes before I don't see me talk about wearing, and I'll do a billboard for you. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm not doing that. Well, if you're serving the rich, I will be associated with them. If you're serving the poor, nigga, that ain't for me. Vision and prayer board, how to create these boards. That's an iHot question. Vision and prayer, that's why iHot stuff for me. But I pray. How can nonprofits get to the next level of attracting multi-million-dollar grants? How can nonprofits get to the next level of attracting multi-million-dollar grants? Have you really understood what those guys are looking for? Right? There's a language to selling, or there's a language to serving in terms of not-for-profits. What is your track record? Right? What is your skill? What is your capacity? At a certain level, it's no longer what you know, it's who you know. Can I say that again? At a certain level, it's no longer what you know, it's who you know. Who can you use as a reference? Who can put in a good word for you? Do you get what I'm saying? Who can, you need to amplify your network. At this level, multi-million-dollar grants is no longer what you know, it's who you know. Hi, Steve. Powerful session. Please, can you recommend 3 books to read in 2025 in line with positioning oneself? Where it comes to books, I'm always very reticent to give ideas, simply because I feel like books are like maps. Everybody's going in different directions, so my map is different from yours. But I can recommend like one book where it comes to positioning that's really good. It's by Marshall Goldsmith. It's called "What Got You Here Won't Get You There." Go and read it. What got you here won't get you there. There's another book you should read. Many people say it's a bad book. It's not. Go and read the 48 Laws of Power. Go and read it. That's a good book. You should read it. Third book you should read, still from the same author. Go and read The Art of Seduction. Go and read it. And when it's The Art of Seduction, it's not about, learning how to seduce women or learning how to seduce men. No, it's understanding psychology, persuasion, positioning, demand. Go and read those books. The 48 Laws of Power, The Art of Seduction, and Marshall Goldsmith's What Got You Here Won't Get You There. That's what I think. I thought.
Thank you, Harris. Please, can we just say thank you, Harris? Thank you, Steve Harris, everyone. Just say thank you, Steve Harris. His time is up. He's done. I'm so
Thank you.
Thank you. Super grateful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Very intense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Thank
Come
you
on,
so
send
much.
me. Don't beg me. Send me.
Thank you. Love you. Thank
Very
you.
we are waiting.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
guys.
much because I
Thank
hope
you so much.
like he said, he gets a lot of money to have these kind of sessions, but he gave us for free. So I'll just say thank you so much. Thank you. And we pray that what you have started will only multiply, will only grow, and that the lives that you touch will be the evidence of the value that you give to them. So people look at this like their lives and say, wow, Steve must have been here. Right. So
Yes.
that's what we pray, that if we just go with you and that your family will also be safe and well, even as you live in the US, your impact will not just be among, the people at home, but everywhere in the world. It will grow every single time, right? It will grow every single time. All right. Thank you so much. So we're going to let you go now, and then
Yes.
we'll talk later. Okay. All right. I think I have removed the spotlight. Okay. Just give me a minute. I need to let me see. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm so excited. I've seen the numbers go up and down, and we have a lot of people on YouTube as well. Someone actually recommended Harris's book called Honey, Why Are We Poor? I think that's the name of that book. It's a book about money, financial intelligence. Let me just be sure. It's called Honey, Why Are We Poor? Yeah, that's what it's called. So please, if you can get a hold of that book, it's really good. It's about financial intelligence. And you will learn a lot. So I am not going to keep us here much longer. I have just a few things to say, and I need you to listen to me. And I promise I won't be here much longer. And the things I want to say are the things that God has laid in my heart to say for the people that are ready to shine his light, right? And be lights in 2025, because that's what we will have to be in 2025. You will have to be light. And what is light? The inference of light is direction, right? The inference of light is clarity. So people are coming to you because they see that you have clarity and you have direction. And that's what I want to talk about today. Right. And one of the scriptures that fascinate me in the Bible, and they are quite a number. So I'm sure a lot of people that have heard me talk will be like, another one. Yes, they are quite a number. Is the story about the talents, the 10 talent, 5 talent, and 1 talent people. Right. The Bible doesn't tell us that they were born with those talents. The Bible doesn't say that. What the Bible says is that their boss or their king gave them those talents when he was traveling, when he was going away for a time, that they will use it and they will multiply it, right? The talent that was given to them was not what they were supposed to sit on and have for the rest of their lives. No, that's why the king was so angry when he came back and he realized that the person that was given 1 talent had sat on it. No, Genesis chapter 1, which is one of my favorite scriptures. Yes, there I go again. Yeah, bear with me. Genesis chapter 1 and 2. I can read it anytime, always, because that is the instruction manual for all Christians to understand how to be on the earth, right? And if you're a Muslim here, bear with me. And that's the angle I come from every time I teach. So bear with me. And maybe you can read it as well. It will give you some insight, right? To who we are. Because if God created us to be with him, it's because we are like him, right? And he said, and he gave us an instruction, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue, dominate. That is a process, right? If God has given you that instruction, what he's saying is fruitfulness is equal to multiplication. So as you are fruitful, then you are able to multiply the things you are fruitful in. So if you were born with 1 talent or born with 2 talents or 3 talents, what God is saying is that you have to multiply that talent. I hope that's clear. If you had 2 or 3 gifts, that's not what you are to die with. As somebody who has received light going into 2025, you are meant to be a multipotentialite. I know some of us claim we are multipotentialites because we believe we're born that way. Yes, but that's not exactly scriptural. right? What the scripture says is that you have also been given the capacity, because you are like your Father God, to be able to recreate the things that you know and do more. Please say do more. In 2025, you have to do more. That's the instruction. You're not going to keep doing what you were doing before. You have to do more. And so the instructions I have for you today that I got, as part of what I should share, is that you are a multipotentialite. It might not feel like it right now. You might not see it right now. But if you lean into who you have been created to be, God, that's who you have been created to be. Listen carefully. You have been created to be God, not just like God. You have been created to be God on the earth, representing him on the earth. It's like an ambassadorship, right? On the earth, that means you have to be like him. Some weeks ago, God told me that he is the progenitor. What that means is that from him, life comes, and life can come into anything he chooses because he's the originator of the life. That means you, as a carrier of God, are also a progenitor, and you can then give life into anything that he has called you to do. And I said do more, and only find wrote do more. Can more of you say do more? I know it feels like assignment, but that's what 2025 is going to be for you. You're going to have to do more. And I'm not saying do more in the multitude of things. No, I'm saying do more in the quality of things. It's not in the quantity of things, it's in the quality of things that you will do more. You might have to reduce what you're doing to be more high quality, more like God, royalty, regal, all right? So the first thing I'll say to you is that embrace your multipotentiality. Embrace the multitude of your potentials. Whoever you are, whatever you do, you have potential. The things you are doing right now may not be the things that you will need to do in 2025 to become wealthy. The things that you are doing right now may not be the things you need to do in 2025, as in the next year, to become the financial carrier that you need to be to survive the year for yourself, for your family, and as a world changer, which is your assignment upon the earth. You need to embrace it. Embrace it. I am a multipotentialite. Embrace it. Right? And as a multipotentialite, one of the things that you need to realize is that there's diversity in the things that you do, right? You have to accept the diversity. You have to acknowledge and celebrate your ability to juggle multiple things. It is something to celebrate. It's something to shout about, that I can do so many things, right? You accept it because it is a strength and not a weakness. I know a lot of people say, oh, multitasking. Oh, women are always trying to do things. That's why they make mistakes. That's why they can't drive. No. You should do many things. It's just that you need to sharpen your skill at it, right? Sharpen your skill at being diverse. Sharpen your skill at being able to do a lot of things. So I tell you, your ability to multitask and be a multipotentialite is a strength, not a weakness. All right? And what do you do with your strength, right? You use your strength. You don't use your weakness, right? You accept it and then you use your strength, because that strength is the ability to function like a superpower. If you've been getting my emails recently, I've been calling everybody superhuman. Why? Because in 2025, those are the skills that we are going to have to show our superpower. You have superpower. Why? Because you have God in you, right? And I'm not here to preach, but I'm just telling you, you are superhuman. I would like you to put in the chat. I am superhuman. I'm not normal. I'm not regular. I am superhuman. That's why I can do many things. That's why I have strength in a lot of things. All right? And because you are superhuman, I want you to own that identity. You have to own the identity. If you are superhuman, how will you behave? How will you carry yourself? What will you wear? Where will you go? I like the fact that Harry said, instead of just going to Chicken Republic, once in a while, go to Echo Hotel if you're in Lagos, or go to Transcorp if you're in Abuja or somewhere. Those things expand your mind. Those things help you be more, right, than you will normally be, right? I'm not going to stay long. I'm going to wrap this up shortly, right? Then you have to find connections, right? When you focus on your superhumanness, When you build that identity and tell yourself, I am superhuman, so I can do multiple things. The next thing for you to do is begin to discover these things that I can do. Because if you received my first email, I said it in there. Most of the time, when you begin to work in that line, trying to find the specialty and those things you can do, you realize that a lot of them have connecting points. They have points where they meet. They have points where they connect, right? There might be a foundation to your various expressions. Like I gave an example, you might want to help people. That is what is in your heart, to help people. How do you help people, right? There's so many ways to help people. One of the ways is like you can open a clinic, you can help people. You can start a gym, you can help people, right? You can be a coach or a consultant like me, you're helping people, right? You do so many things, but the baseline and the connecting thing is to help people, and there can be many expressions. So for a few people here, your baseline might be the same as your expressions that might differ, right? Your multipotentialite nature might come out in the multiple areas of expression, right? If you notice, people that are very creative, sometimes they can sing, they can dance, they can act. Sometimes they can even write, right? Those are different things, but they all stem out of creativity, okay? So you need to find the connections, find where your diverse interests connect. Because once you build that baseline of where they connect, everything else becomes easier, all right? Right? They complement each other. Find how they complement each other, because when you do, you might even stumble into an innovation that nobody has done before, because you are bringing different services together, right, to offer in one bundle. I hope this is making sense. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but I just want to position us, right, in a place where we realize that we are able to look within and bet new things and bet the right things, because you might bet many things, but are they the right things? I have sold a lot of things from when I was a teenager. I started selling all sorts, even up till now. But I always ask myself, after a while, a few years after I ask, is this even the right thing? Because sometimes they don't even make you money. It's just activity, right? You're just doing activity. I'm not saying do everything for money, because some things have different reasons. You might have different reasons for other things. Some things are visibility, some things are mandates, some things are assignments from God and things like that. But what's the value that the thing you're doing has? You need to be very clear about that, right? You need to be very clear about that. And this is the next thing I think I'll round up here, right? Oh, well, yeah. Build a support system. A lot of us are letting go of the very precious people that we need to have in our lives to support us on this journey. You cannot be a multipotentialite with 5 gifts that you have identified, knowing that God expects you to build 5 more as you go along. And then you'll be hanging around and allowing somebody who is sitting on their one gift to influence your life and your decisions. No. You need to find people like you to be friends with, to support you. The reason why people say, don't tell people your dream, don't tell people all the things you want to do and all that, is because you are telling the wrong people. You're telling people that cannot help you. You're telling people that will reduce your mindset to such a small level. You know, recently I was having a conversation with someone, and I said, I was praying recently and I realized that some of the results I've gotten is because I reduced my mindset to what my capacity at the time could carry. Right? I reduced the task and the mandate I had gotten to what my capacity to carry. Instead of me to grow the capacity to fit the vision that God had given me, to fit the things in my heart that I wanted to do, I didn't grow my capacity. Instead, I took that massive vision and I brought it and I made it small to fit my capacity. And I'm asking you, how many of you have done that? I'm sure everybody at some point in your life, even if you're not doing it right now, has done it. You've reduced the thing that God has given to you. You've reduced the talents that you have into one thing because you're saying is focus. I want to focus on this one thing. No, it's people that do not have capacity for a lot of things that always talk about focus, right? It's people that do not have capacity, that haven't built enough capacity that talk about focus. I'm doing too many things. I'm too busy. Hey, you're meant to be busy. You are meant to be busy. There is a lot to be done. There is so much work. You are meant to be busy. But if you connect with the right support system, it will be easier for you. There are some people here that I just by talking to them about things is done. because of their mindset is so big, right? Their capacity is so big. So as you build that support system, think about collaborations, think about partnership. Think the Bible says 1 can chase 1,000, 2, 10,000. Don't hoard that thing that you're doing. If I do it with somebody else, someone that's called, someone that carries my mindset, someone that understands the God kind of capacity I need, how will I be? What kind of results will I have? Think collaboration, think partnerships, find the right, build the right circle, and then focus on execution. Stop writing your dreams down. Thank you. You have written enough. Books can be published on the things that you think you know and the things that you want to do. Every year, you have a vision board. Somebody is asking for vision board again. You have a vision board and you put things down every year. Begin to do. It's okay. That course you want to do is okay. You've done enough courses, right? The program you want to run, you've done enough. You ran enough. The mentors you want to have is okay. You too start mentoring people now. Is you are old enough. You have enough information. Start something. Execution is what takes us where we need to be. It's what brings us. If I decide that, oh, I need to go and study more, I need to do more, so I cannot hold this conference, will you be in this room today? Will I have over 100 people subscribed? Will I have a YouTube channel? One day I just asked myself, come, all these books I have and things I'm writing, what am I doing? Is it for me? Is God giving me all this capacity for myself? All this revelation, is it for me? I have to put it out there. You have to put it out there. You need to put your face out there. You need to start all this. No, I like to be behind the scenes. Nobody should see me. Over God. May God help you. Right? May God help you. A lot of things that you know now, don't worry. Just reiterate those things. Go and relearn them and polish them and put them out there. Do it again. Go back. Do it again. This time, do it better. Find the right consultant or the coach or the helper or the mentor, something that will fine-tune it and shape it and make it the way it should be, right? Do that again, right? But as you do this, listen to me, balance exploration with execution. What did I say? Balance exploration with execution. Thank you. Thank you, right? Because you can be stuck exploring all these new ideas and new ways of doing things, right? That you will never complete the task of releasing that thing into the universe. You can be stuck with learning and exploration that you will not allow yourself to express what you know and what God has given to you. I've given myself a goal for books. I have so much. See, if you know me, I've been doing conferences for maybe 6 years. I was watching one of my videos recently and I was like, I said this thing. Because it's like I was learning and I said, this thing that is it's special. It's time for me to release those things. Tell yourself, it's time for me to release those things. Right? It's time for me. Stay flexible so you can learn. Stay flexible so you can make friends, so you can interact with new people, right? I met somebody recently, right? I met a lady recently who seemed to be doing a lot. Let me better hold this thing. I think the light's better. Who seemed to be doing a lot of things that I was doing, and I was attracted to her because I'm easily attracted to people that are very sapiosexual. People that are very cerebral, and people that are doing things that I'm doing. So if you're in like the non-profit space doing social impact, oh my goodness. If you're in ministry, and if you're a consultant, that's fantastic. And this lady was all of that. And so I said once in a while I'll chat with her and so on. She was nice and polite. We'll meet at some conference and all of that. And then I now started wanting to meet because, well, is that not how? So I sent a message, can we meet? Can we? And there was always a reason why it couldn't happen. Something was happening and all of that. And then I asked myself, I said, come on. I have value, right? I have value. I should be with the people that will value me as well, that will be as interested in spending time with me like I am with them. I should be with people that want I should build a support system of people that want to push me as I want to push them. And that's the thing. A lot of us go and get entangled with people that make us feel small, because that's how it began to feel. I say, am I not what is going on? No, find the people that will make you feel bigger than life. Find the people. I have had people that will be like, oh, I'm here, or can we do that? And they'll say, okay, I'm coming. And then they'll never show. And my mind will start feeling that, is there something wrong? But no, don't let people do that to you. Don't let people make you small, right? I like what we just said. Small who smallify you. People, that's true. Don't let it. because you are a God, you are a carrier of grace, you have capacity to do so much more. More. Always think more. In 2025, we are doing more, not in quantity, right? But in quality. And that's the and I'll round up here, right? That's the difference between scaling up and growing. As a business owner, as a ministry owner, as whatever you are, listen carefully, because I know some people need to run into another meeting. Sorry, I know I'm holding you, right? And I thank you for honoring me by staying. Scaling up and growing, listen to the difference. Growing your business or your idea and all that is quantity. You're just adding new things to it. You're just adding new styles, new people, and all of that. That's growing. People can see you everywhere. And but scaling is about efficiency. Scaling is about using the little to do much more. Scaling is about quality, right? I had 10 people working for me and we're good, we're business. But what if I now have 5? But I'm able to do 50% more than what the 10 people were doing because I have put in place processes and systems for more efficiency. I have 15 friends, but what if I have 5 friends that can help me better than those 15 are doing? Because a lot of you have people that are useless in your life and they are not helping you go anywhere. How do I value what I have? How do you value what you have at the moment to do more? In 2025, we do more. So stay alert for the new opportunities, because that's how you know, that's how you grow, that's how you scale. Opportunities come and you ask yourself, how can I do this better, faster, better, and easier? How can I do more faster, better, than easier? I have mandates on my life, write books, speak, but I shy away from it sometimes. And I say in 2025, we must publish all these books. So I'm here to announce to you that in 2025, as we enter into the year, I think towards the end of January, if my manager, who is right here listening to me, because she's hearing me shift the date, right, will permit me, my book will be out. I have a book that is coming out, right, towards the end of this month. I have 2 books, by the way. I hope you know that. It's called Faith-Filled Inspired Words, because it's high time that we need to begin to, yes, so I know, I trust you. It's high time that we begin to speak those words that will shape our destiny. But like God, it's high time we meditate on what we want to become, what we want 2025 to have. It's time for you to begin to meditate on it so that you can begin to speak it out. So that when you speak it out, you have meditated on it so long that it has become your reality. It has become easy for you to speak it out with boldness. So the book is coming out and a lot of things are coming out. I'm going to have audios come out about affirmations. I'm going to have 2 courses come out, right? One is about mindsets and belief systems, and the other one is about how you make your affirmations. All these are coming, and I want you to hold me accountable. If by the end of January it's not out, say Ihotu, you lied, but I'm not lying. Right? And I'm saying this to you, right? Yes, I'm saying this to you because I want you to also begin to think, what are the things that I must do in 2025? The thing that God has blessed, the things that carry his breath, so that when I do one, it amounts to doing 100. That's what Harris just said to us. So that when I have 2 clients, it amounts to having like 15 clients. And that's what I'm looking forward to in the next year as a consultant as well. I don't want to deal with 50 clients. I want to have 10 clients and have an amazing year and be a billionaire in Naira or millionaire in dollars, right? So what are you setting before you? What are you doing? What are you preparing? How are you stepping out on social media? All of you that say, oh, I'm not on social media. I don't use WhatsApp. See, all those things are wrong, they are wrong. Stop it. Stop it. Put yourself out there and get it done. That's why we're here. So embrace your multipotentiality. Embrace your multipotentiality, right? Put your energy into it. Embrace that ability to explore many fields and invest in it. Find out what else is in me that I can bring out, right? What are the other things I need to nurture? What else can I have? Can I have books? Can I start a business, right? I have a friend here who is like one of my mentees, and I heard that she makes the most amazing muffins. I haven't eaten them. And I told her, you must sell it. You make such amazing muffins, we'll find exclusive packs for them, and you will sell them that becomes a business. What can you do to show the world who God has made you to be? And I need you to ask yourself that question. What can I do? What else can I do to service high-profile people? Quality. What else can I bet that has value and quality that will show God that I am doing what he has asked me to do. I am doing the mandate that he gave me. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, dominate. You have to first of all produce fruits. Fruits, sissies. And then you begin to multiply them. You produce them, and then you don't just go away, you multiply them. What else can I do with these fruits that I've done? Oh, the fruit has come out. We can make juice, we can make spices, we can make drinks, we can make tea. Multiplied, replenish the earth, think global. How can my products and my services go around the world? How do people hear me? How do people see me? How do people access the things that I have, right? Subdue it, become the head of your industry, become the top 10 people they call in your industry, top 5 people. And then when you dominate, it means what Harris is saying. When they want you in particular, they say, don't even come. Don't worry, just send your people. Like Jesus, they said to him, you don't have to come, send the word and it will be done. All right, so that's what I've come to say to you today. And so some of us, we just need to adapt to the newness that we are entering in 2025. You've become so uncomfortable with where you are. Oh my goodness, we've entered the after party. So let me let people go, right? What the after party is that I just share things that dropped into my spirit for people, right? As we go on, and so on. So thank you for joining. Those of you that want to stay back, I'm just going to 5 minutes. I have a few things to say for 5 minutes, and then we will stop.